Hey everyone, we'll get going in about, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes? No, longer than that. More like 10, sorry. But the Giz must play us on. I'll be back soon. Habana, Cuba. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Chat, estoy Nate. Cool. Okay, hi everyone. I mean every no one. This is Nate. Blue skies ahead. The fitting lyric for today. Okay, hey again. This is Nate. This is Nate Flies. This is my VATSIM Accountability stream. I am a flight sim hobbyist enthusiast, and I am in XP12 in the Zebo mod today. And interestingly enough, Southwest has the best fares from Havana to Tampa, which is where we're flying today. So this is just default Havana. What's the airport? Jose Marte International. And yeah, we will be flying from Havana to Tampa. And the reason for that is today is cursed day in my family, because for whatever strange twist of fate, not that I'm a superstitious guy or anything, but there has been lots of death in the family on this day. And I mean, train. Most notably, both of my dogs on different years, same day, have tragically, very tragically, and not too suddenly, but suddenly enough, it's always sudden, have passed away on November 19th. So I hate today. It's probably why the week feels like shit. So today is a day of observation and commemoration and fear of the unknown and, that kind of stuff. But it's also a day to definitely not work. So it's a favorite of mine, of course. Any day you don't have to work is a good day because you are not engaged in the slavery of alienated labor, and I get to enjoy some unalienated or non-alienated labor. Well, this isn't really this isn't labor one way or another. A little bit. I am practicing, but this is just I get to enjoy my own productive activity today, in the words of communists around the world. So yeah, so what I do anyway, besides that little screed there, at least I like that part of Marx. The rest we have to talk about a little more in depth to figure it out. So, but in any case, so yeah, what this stream is all about is I really like Flight Simulator. I got into Flight Simulator during the pandemic because I really like to travel, and I was not getting to do that, and it was a very depressing time as well. Notably, this is when, also during the pandemic, that was when my first dog passed away. Dog number one. And so today's flight is actually somewhat in honor of him, because I used to live down in South Florida, and he was a racing greyhound, and he has some origins in Cuba. Beautiful Cuba. And so he made his way up from Cuba to a kennel in Tampa, and that is where I adopted him. And or I rescued him, whatever you say. I have a funny story about adoption versus rescue when it comes to talking about pets a little later. But whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. So this is a Isaac, the Greyhound flight in honor. I should have picked the black and white livery for him. But I was just interested to see that Southwest actually, I love this livery. I'm always flying in it. Southwest has flight. It looked like almost every day from Cuba to Havana. Cuba to Havana. That would be that's a category mistake. From Tampa to Havana. So that's pretty cool. Tampa is a very old and active Cuban community. I think kind of before the Miami I'm going to say influx. That's not the right. That's a bit of a pejorative word. But we can be generic and say during the migration once Castro came into power and kicked everybody out. All right, having a sip of coffee, and also in honor is a I should have made Cuban coffee today, but I actually will kill my stomach if I have too much. It's just too much sugar in cafecito. Is that what I call it? Cafecito? Yeah. And a little too much caffeine for my taste this morning. Although, you know, as I said yesterday, I like caffeine. That's why I'm rambling so much now, because I've just had my morning caffeine. So, yeah, to continue that, I really like flight simulation, and I kind of got into learning how to fly these big jets during the pandemic, and kind of got involved in some flight sim communities, and it's been really great and an enjoyable hobby for me. And what I'm doing now, this is called a VATSIM Accountability stream, because I am getting ready for some VATSIM flights, and I can kind of show you here what VATSIM is all about. So this is, let me just pull it up here, VATSIM. So in real life right now, in real simulator life right now, these are a bunch of flight simulation enthusiasts and dorks just like me. Europe always totally jammed. Germany has actually, the community that I enjoy a lot is my German bros, I call them, but also some Dutch bros, and Schiphol is always packed too, for good reason. And so, yeah, so VATSIM is an international kind of online ATC network, and these are all other people flying. And the areas that you see here, good old Kyle is manning Milwaukee, that dump Milwaukee today. Sorry, Kyle. Well, Kyle, you know, just Milwaukee. We can talk about Milwaukee sometime. But they control the ATC over these areas, and so you can get real-life ATC. So if I was actually flying to Tampa right now, it looks like I'd get, well, no coverage. I'm doing a bit of a kind of uncommon route. Though plenty of people fly into Miami, and I would think Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I guess everyone likes Miami more. Although there's only a handful of people there. So Miami must get manned every so often. But in any case, I'm getting up to there. But I had just started in XP12, this new simulator. I was kind of more used to Microsoft, and I like X-Plane a lot more. And but I need to like land better in the sim and that kind of stuff, because I don't want to ruin. Well, first of all, I need to fly like legit when you're on VATSIM, and with proper communications, and follow everyone's instructions accordingly. Not that they're mean or anything like that. There's beginner days and and that kind of thing too. But the more to the point is, I just need to be able to land my aircraft so I don't muck up everything. And so it's a kind of a whole different feel in XP12, which is a simulator that I've just really enjoyed XP12. And so that is what we will be doing today. So I am going to be flying this thing, and I'm going to start getting it all set up. And thanks for coming along, and we'll have a nice flight. We get to, I can show you, I guess we're not going to see on that map, but at least on the Navigraph map I can show you. It's going to be a pretty flight, because we get to, I almost want to do a big loop over Havana. I haven't really gotten to see how the scenery looks here in X-Plane. But yeah, we are taking off runway 6 and heading out over the what are we considering these waters these days? What does Navigraph say? Does it call it the Gulf of anything? All right, Navigraph is dodging the issue, I think. Anyway, flying over the, kind of over the Florida Keys. beautiful down here. I've done diving and fishing and boating down there. It's great. And then we will be flying over the what is it, 10,000 islands, 100,000 islands. I always forget. But you know, Marco and Naples. It's funny they call Fort Myers Feral, which is on brand for Fort Myers. No offense. And then down into Tampa, and I used to live in Tampa. I love Tampa. Tampa, St. Pete. I'm a huge Rays fan. We will be seeing the Trop down here, even though it's a dilapidated dump these days, but it's a dump that I love. So this will be our flight today over Florida, and the weather, as I recall, seems pretty nice. A little bit of weather kind of to our east, but the flight itself looks pretty good. So anyway, enough BSing. Let's get this aircraft going. So I am in a 737-800. There she is. That's first things first. Go ahead and do some stuff on the overhead panel, which is where all the systems are. We are on standby power. We're on ground now. I have like the battery on and this sort of thing. Let me make sure I can see the panel. Turn some seatbelts on. Get the heat on. And that trim air will be on. This looks good. Our flight today goes up to flight level 320. So I will set the pressure, and then we are sea level today in Tampa. It'll just be, I think it's like 10 feet, but 0 is the closest we can get. All right, cool. That's all I want to do for the overhead right now. What I'm doing now too is here, if you're kind of looking on the stream, I have some cool peripherals. This is a WinWing, what do they call this? The CDU, I think, right? Anyway, it's a flight management computer. This is, you know, the computer for the plane. That's self-explanatory. This is the MCP panel, and all this stuff is in the sim. But it's more fun to click buttons and all that out here in the real sim world. So yeah, so I'll be using that kind of stuff, and you can follow along. But I'm not teaching or training or anything. I'm talking through this stuff because a big part of this is I watch these back and find my mistakes and ask people questions about my mistakes because I make many. And that's kind of the theme, and I try and not make the same ones every time. So actually, I watched back last stream, and I was able to find a bunch of, I say bad mistakes, good mistakes, because I'm hopefully not going to do it again. So anyway, what I'm going to do is set up the computer, basically tell it where we're going and what's happening. So the first thing I just checked there, our database is set up okay, and we are coming from... we're Havana, so Mike Uniform Hotel Alpha is our reference airport that we tell it. I'm gonna go ahead down here, grab our GPS coordinate, and set our IRS position, which is the inertial reference. Kind of tells the aircraft where it is in the world. You can see it's starting to, you know, this is starting to get more and more accurate as it finds us here. So that's where we are starting at in Havana, and we will plug that in, and we are going to Tampa, which is Kilo Tango. What is it? Papa Alpha is our destination, and we are in fact Southwest 462 November as usual. And yeah, this is an IRL flight. I'm surprised Southwest does this flight. I guess not for any reason in particular. I just don't think of Southwest, I guess, as being a kind of Tampa to South or to the Caribbean or South America. Yeah, I don't know the status these days. I should check what the travel advisories are. But I'd actually love to go to Havana, or at least visit Cuba at some point. Okay, so we're taking off today, runway 6 on the EPMAR 3 departure, and our transition is MAXIM. And so what that is, if I go to our, just to kind of, again, this is like, just so anyone watching, it's, vaguely interesting. So here's the charts for the airport. Here we are, and we're going to be taking off down here, this runway 06. And what I just plugged in the flight computer here is the standard instrument departure, which is essentially telling you how to get the hell out of here depending where you're going. And since we're going up to the north, we're just kind of taking off over Havana, and then once we hit this Almit waypoint, we'll be hanging a left to Maxim and flying into over international airspace for a minute back into the U.S. So yeah, so that's what I just kind of plugged in here. And this, if we look on our nav map here, it's like this plan mode. You zoom us out a little bit. When I activate this route and execute it, you can see us kind of pop up on there, and there you can see the routing on the chart matches up with this. And for now, I can go and we're probably going to be the same arrival either way. Departure arrival into Tampa at this Bullfrog 3 with the Ferrol transition. And like I said, if I look on that same, you see as we're coming from the south, we'll be coming from Fort Myers, this Ferrol to Bullfrog. Bullfrogs are actually, we're bringing the Cuban bullfrog. What's the actual bufo toad? What are they called? Cane toads, I guess. Anyway, they're bad news. You can lick them and they'll take you away. Not that you should do that, but you have to watch out when you live in Florida. Your dog, my dog, did not ever get a frog, thank God, a bufo toad. But yeah, they're very poisonous. And so we'll have to see what the winds are doing right now. We have a bunch of tailwind, but it looks like in real life they are landing ILS 01 left and right. So I'm going to plug that in for now. And just no transition, we'll vector ourselves over. So essentially what we're going to be doing is, here's the airport, here's this J-Strom, and or actually, excuse me, is that cruiser? Kind of a weird, I guess I'll read this a little more as we get there. But in any case, you take vectors out, and we'll just come onto the ILS, fly over MacDill Air Force Base. I think they sort of let you. I remember I did approach one time in real life, and it was really pretty approach because we came out over St. Pete. We went right over the trop and just like dove down over MacDill and landed. I asked the pilot about that one. He just said it was a visual. So once I execute that down here and I go to my legs page, actually my route, let me finish plugging in the full route that I didn't do. So for that, I do want to go look at our flight plan real quick. And this will give us some other information. So flight plan is exactly what it sounds like. You plan your flight. So in my FMC here, you can see the route coming out ends at this Maxim, and then we have to go plug in some other stuff. So this is Yankee 262 is basically a highway in the air to Yankee 262. We're taking that to Tunsil. I'm gonna have to think of other Florida reasons why they would name that Tunsil. Although, to tell you the truth, so I'm a big football fan. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan because I grew up down in South Florida. And if that is named after Laramie Tunsil, I wouldn't mind, because he has been the gift that kept on giving. Okay, so then Tunsil to direct to Carter, Kilo, Alpha, Tango, Romeo, Kilo Alpha Romeo Tango Romeo. Romeo Tango Romeo. Carter. And then Carter, Farrell's the next one. So all I'll do is move Farrell up and I will execute that. And that is our full flight plan. So when we see now on our little nav display here, I can go to our legs page. And if I kind of start stepping through, it'll move us through all of our different waypoints. And there is our arrival. And arrival and our approach. So, step, cruise, and then vectors, Selman. So that's Leroy Selman, famous Tampa Bay Bucks football player. He has a restaurant down there. I'd give you maybe a couple more options before you went there. Sorry, Leroy. Okay. So, our computer is almost totally set up. Let me get the flight plan out again here. We'll get through this sort of boring stuff. I already set the fuel and weights, but so I got the 0 fuel weight. Our reserves today is 6. So final reserve 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Far 10%. Interesting. All right, so 6 point. Let's call it 6. Cost index today tells you kind of the cost of gas and how aggressively you can use it. Doesn't matter for us. 30 is good, and we are going up to our optimum is 370, but the flight level is 320 on our flight plan. And this isn't a very long flight. Winds 310, so kind of to the coming out of the south or the west, the southwest, west southwest, something like that. At 23 knots, and our top of climb temperature is, cold is it up there, minus 37, so a little chilly. Oh god, I have to do Celsius conversion. How I did this. Is this where it actually starts, the algorithm starts evening out? Let's try 30. Yeah, alright. Execute. Alright, the transition altitude here is 3,000. I will keep that in mind. And, okay, so we basically told the aircraft how much it weighs and what's going to be going on the flight. Do our N1 limit. This is our takeoff performance. To map mode. Zoom this out. And so, let's find the performance calculator. So the Zebo doesn't have a performance calculator built in yet, unfortunately, but it does have a runway analysis somewhere. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. So we can use this to set up our. So these aircraft are essentially like, they're a big rocket, and so. What you do is you set a bunch of speeds and take off. So the select temp, that's kind of a way to improve the performance of the engine, is 54. Outside air temperature is warm, I'm sure. Let me just confirm that the sim brief weather is the same. Yep, it is 29 degrees. Does it say that there? All right, so 28 it says in sim brief, so at least that's close. And it wants us to do just a slightly derated takeoff, climb 2. Always good for me. Nice leisurely takeoff. But I'm trying not to flip everyone off, I realize, on the stream. So today we are flaps 5 takeoff. I'll take the center of gravity from the Zebo, and Zebo likes, oh, okay, for this is like the first time ever it's been lower than, oh no, it's not. So it wants 50, 53, 59, and Zebo likes it slower. Why there'd be such a big difference? Well, let's take. I'm gonna take the Zebo speeds because that's what the mod probably want. Acceleration, we'll just keep it at. I don't know what it would be here in Havana. So yeah, the V1 speed is kind of like when you have to decide to hit the brakes or take off. VR is when you actually do start taking off, and V2 is the kind of lowest speed you can still climb with one of your engines out. So now that we've got some of this stuff set up, let me set up my panel up here. Don't have to worry about this, but the current QNH here is so in Cuba. What do we get here? It's in hectopascals. So what is it? 1019. So I don't need. So yeah, so we'll change that. 1019. What is that in 3011? I wonder what the rule is on that. 09 it says. Let's go 10. Let's do actually 9. Okay, QNH is set, and our takeoff course on runway 6. I don't need our flight plan anymore for now, I think. Still airports. So yeah, so here we are. We'll do our little taxi briefing while we're at it. So we're going to push back onto this Echo, and then take Echo to Alpha, take Alpha all the way down to runway 06, and the first course is 059. Which way is faster? I was kind of right in the middle. So you set your course. Course set, and for our initial heading, your heading is usually going to always be the same, but let's we'll read a chart real quick. So on these charts, it kind of tells you, depending where you're taking off, you would we're doing this EPMAR 3. Let's read some instructions. So yeah, transition 3000. I'll have to remember that. I'm used to 18,000 in the US. So we're doing this EPMAR 3 climb on 060 track until 2000, and then proceed direct to Almet, turn left, continue 345 MR, continue by assigned transition. This is RNAV, isn't it? Yeah, it's an RNAV departure. So, and then maximum EPR, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this all looks good. I'll give myself the Savannah VOR, actually, 116.1. 116. That'll just give me a little indication. You can actually see it right now. So I have just a reference point, and yeah, cool. If I was doing this real too, I'd also probably put in the ILS or whatever approach back into Havana, but I don't expect this for a quick return. So that is that. And like I said, our V2 speed is 147. Go ahead and plug that in just to set our minimum speed. And we're going to go up to, that's why I didn't check. Are we just going, does it have any kind of information about where? So it just says transition 3000, climb 2000. Alright, I'm actually cool staying low because I like to get a good view. So let's just go up to 2000. we're gonna be fast and furious. What am I doing? 2,000. Yeah, and let's go ahead and do, well, first let's turn the flight directors on, and we'll do LNAV, VNAV departure. That works for me. Let me look at the legs page again. Alright, cool. So yeah, we'll, I mean, we're gonna be, I'll go 2,500. Or actually, I'll just go 3,000 so we can get to the transition and then keep going a little more. That makes a bit more sense. 2,000 is pretty low to just level out. Okay, so that panel is set, and I feel like we're about ready to rock here. Let me get some of this stuff going. Ground services. Well, before I do that, let's turn the aircraft on again. And then we'll do our first checklist. Okay. So I want to get the APU going, so that's VR. Turn the fuel pump on. You can hear it come on. Seat belts on. Fine. Probes can stay off for now. All this is good. Anti-collision light on. And let's get the APU on. And so the APU is on the rear of these aircraft. There's a auxiliary power unit. Hear it and see it as it starts up. That's here. Get to look up the rear. Wake of 737. Right now we're plugged into ground power. So this electrical system was running everything, and then this will help. This gives us pressurized air, among other things. So the APU is coming up. There we go. So I actually switch our power source over to the APU. So we will no longer be on ground power. Go there. We'll get the APU bleed on. That is basically we're getting air. That's going to help us to turn the engines on. So, all right, sweet. Looking proper here. I'm gonna get the go ahead and get the GPU disconnected. Parking brake is set. Get rid of the chocks, and let's pre-plan our pushback. Be something. Man, look at all this spaghetti here. Yeah, we'll push our way all the way back here.
Ground to cockpit. Canon knowledge. Coming through the menu when you are ready.
Nice. All right. Better pushback has accents. Okay, so let's do our before start checklist. Except I do the thing I always forget to do is lock everyone out. Okay. I like all our passengers. Where's Rob Lowe? There's Rob. Oh, Rob, you look better today. Yesterday, his tan was not looking good. But still rocking. Yeah. Okay, so I did that. And now I feel better about completing this stuff. Alright, so let's get some fuel pumps on. Yeah, whatever. Probes can come on. Let's get these hydraulics going. And I'll turn this light to steady. Okay, cool. Alright, now we will do this checklist. Okay, so CDU is set. EPIS control panel is set for me. Let me set my, we won't really need terrain and stuff like that for this one, so I'm gonna let me do it like a vertical profile shot here. Zoom out a little. Okay, so our course is set, flight director is on, V2 is set, heading 059, altitude, we'll go up to the 3000 transition, and LNAV, VNAV is on, auto brake, RTO, forgot about that. Fuel panel is set, all my pumps are on, fuel check, good, seat belts are on, hydraulic panel is set, flight deck door is locked, and I do the trim stuff after, so that's, and we did kind of our taxi takeoff briefing already, so let's go ahead and get pushback going.
Ground to cockpit. Tau is driving up.
Alright, that should give us a nice view. Clouds are moving in. Alright, so we're just waiting for the tow to come grab us. There it is.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, I'll get my init page up there, or excuse me, my N1 page, and let's give you legs. So yeah, I would, if we were doing VATSIM, I'd do some more stuff up here, but like it's kind of hard to give myself, you know, I tell it to myself and then I have to read it back. Doesn't make sense. Alright, so you see the aircraft lifting up, that's how that tow works, it kind of pulls the aircraft up.
Tau connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay. So, let's make sure our other stuff, anti-collision light is on, transponder, like I said, that would be something we'd care more about, but I can go ahead and turn it on. And let's get ready for pushback. Okay, so packs come off. These are like
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay. And yeah, the packs, so we're using some of that bleed air to kind of start turning the turbines. So you see here, you know, these engines are turbine engines. It's lots of fans and pressure and compressors and fire and thrust. Lots of physics. So you start the engine spinning at about 23%. You add fuel mixture, and you'll start seeing N1 and EGT rise. So this is the exhaust gas temperature. Alright, engine 1. Good. Go ahead and start engine 2. It's the same thing, watching for spinning. Alright, 23, fuel. Mainly little N1 or EGT rise, so that's, you know, the aforementioned explosions. Sorry for the camera. Ooh, limo, Mercedes, nice.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, setting parking brake. Got it.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, tow is disconnecting, so we can do some of our after pushback, or what again, before taxi stuff now. Okay, give him a second to get out of there. So we will now switch our power over to the engines. themselves instead of the APU. Alright, buddy. That was all good. Go ahead and PAX. Auto. Isolation valve auto. PAX auto. APU bleed can come off. Set start switch is continuous, and the APU can come off now. Let's get some lights on to let everyone know we're getting ready to taxi. And
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
thanks, dude. Gracias. Alright, cool. Okay, some other stuff to do now that he's disconnected. Let me set the trim. Excuse me, it was 5.5. Put a little more because it seems to always need a little more. Okay, trim set, flaps 5. And I will do a control check system, make sure my peripherals are plugged in. So full back, forward, full left, full right, and rudder left, rudder right. And get my chair set up. Okay, much better. Alright, so before taxi, generators are on, probe heat is on, anti-ice as needed. I don't think we'll need it today. Packs are on auto, isolation valve auto, engine bleeds are on, APU is off, APU bleed off, APU is off. Engine start switch is continuous, engine start levers, idle, detent, yep. Flaps are set, flight controls are checked. Ground equipment is clear enough for simulator purposes. They do not like getting out of the way. So, again, we will just be taxiing from here. We'll go Echo Alpha. That's all we need to do. Alrighty, we are ready. Let's go. Do a quick config test. Yep. Yeah, I did have, when I streamed yesterday in LA, the scenery was totally wrong. Bummer. So hopefully this one is a little better. Although in general the X-plane airports are all pretty solid, at least compared to the Microsoft offerings, which are pretty terrible. So yeah, so see, we are on Echo Alpha is up here, so that's what we will be doing. I'm going to keep a little tabs on the time today because there's a much better flight streamer streaming today who I'd rather watch. So I'm going to try and get this flight. And this is a pretty short flight. I'm going to try and get it. Turn on to Alpha. Easy out. Going on with those clouds. Alright, so we will be taking it off into a touch of weather, but so let's see, they got some ground aircrafts on this scenery. We've got a big Cathay Pacific 747. That's cool. What else we got? Lufty Regional in Cuba. Really? Huh. That I'll have to ask about. That seems strange. What is that? A Dash 8 ATR? Oh, cool. Is that an old American? Alright, so some neat kind of scenery stuff. I'll keep the volume a little higher for takeoff so we can enjoy some loud engine sounds. Alright, we're just going to be taxiing down to the end of the runway. Speeding a little bit. Just barely. 1 knot over. I'm gonna kind of hold short before the runway and get all my other stuff together. Could just do kind of a rolling takeoff, but better safer than sorry with me. I am not the greatest pilot, so we'll want to definitely run our run our checklist and I'll make sure I've done all my switches. Alright, so winds are not bad here. 130 at 4 knots, so not much. And I see we're going to be probably landing, once we get into Tampa, we're going to be changing. So we have a little bit of kind of crosswind, I guess, today. 140 from our right. I think the socks are accurate in X-plane. You can see a very limp wind. All right. Okay, I can get my weather radar on. I keep reaching now for another EFIS panel since I have the real one. I can put terrain on even though we are flying over nothing. Traffic is on. And I'm going to go ahead and turn here and stop short at Alpha. Way I guess just 6. No, 06, because we're not in America. I mean, we are in America. We're in the Americas, but in the U.S. Okay, let's stop short here. Parking brake. Okay, no longer need the system page. I want to turn some lights on. Strobe can come on. And I just say my viewpoint feels a little funky here today. It's slightly off. I'll have to fix that extra camera later. That is not your concern, so I shouldn't be talking about that. Okay, so our before takeoff, the flaps are set. Green light. Stabilizer trim is 5.5 set, and cabin is secure. Strobe lights are on. Wing lights don't need them. Transponder is TARA. Weather radar on. Landing lights are on, and we will run the chrono and go. So again, just to get everyone's head in the game, we are just going to be taking off to this Almit and kind of just getting to that 3,000, and then we will enjoy some views. I'm probably going to autopilot pretty quickly because, yeah. Because I want to look around, see what the scenery is like. But pretty straightforward takeoff. So, are we ready? I'm ready. No, I'm not. Auto thrust on. Go. Alright, so we said a little wind from the right. Wait, where's that stock? So this is what I'm curious if, man, in X-Plane, I saw someone posted like a fix the other day for it that maybe you get sort of this weird wind effect, but I don't know if, again, it's like is it a me thing? Is it a... Anyway, alright, let's start spooling up. 40%. N1 Toga. Again, if the wind is coming from the right a little bit, I would expect... Should I just give it a little bit of... But see, the Zeebo... I tend to have to put in a ton. Like, I'm like... Well, now...
80 knots.
Alright, check. Yeah, I always use a lot of left rudder.
V1, rotate.
Alright, rotate. Pulling back gently along our aircraft. Trim.
Positive rate.
Alright, positive rate. Gear up.
$400.
Check. Alright, we are taking off.
1,000.
Alright, so at 1,000 we start pitching down a little and accelerating. And again, because I want to look around Uba a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and turn our autopilot on. And let's go... We're approaching flaps 1 speed. Oops. Okay, flaps 1. Loud. Let's go flaps up. Alright, blasted you there. Okay, FMC speed, VNAV, alt. So we're going to level off here at 3,000. And that is our transition. So I'll go ahead and set standard. And speeding up to 250 knots. And, alright, let's look around a little bit. I will lower our exterior sounds for us. So Havana City itself is over here. I can only just see some landmarks. Okay, let me do some after takeoff stuff. Brakes up. Or switches. I guess technically, we'll wait till 10,000 feet. Alright, well, let's go ahead and continue climbing. Looks like we can't see too much. Alright, altitude intervention. I'm gonna go up to 10,000. Zeebo likes a very aggressive initial climb when you do a level change. Alright, well, bye Cuba. Alright. So everything else looks all good here. We're supposed to be. I can go ahead and just get us all the way up to our top, which was 320 I think today. Okay, and we are turning, so I'll set the heading bug accordingly. Down here on the nav map, that's the heading. And in the Boeing, you gotta kind of always keep it pointing where you want it. Alright, so the inbound to Epmar 346. Okay. Let's see. Alright, that's pretty nice. Let me do something real quick. Plugins, X camera, control panel. What do I have on this one? Retain mouse position. Alright, I want that.
Camera is saved. Camera is saved.
Alright, so now, pardon me for configuring stuff. Can I actually look around now? But when I go back to that, it should be fine. Okay. I watched some, oh gosh, she scared me. Alright, 10,000 feet, we'll call it good for getting our lights off. Lights. Alright, everything else up here, oops, excuse me, is fine. I didn't do our after takeoff checklist. Okay, engine bleeds are on, packs auto. I didn't turn them off for the isolation valve. Auto, engine start switches are off. Landing gear is up and off. Auto brake is off. Flaps up, no lights. Okay, after takeoff checklist completed. So let's do some situational awareness here. There's our top of climb. Where is top of descent? Is not till is feral. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is grab. I'm gonna go ahead and grab feral here and give myself a fix, just a 40 mile ring. So you can see kind of on this nav map, when I zoom out, you can see this little ring here. So we're kind of flying along, and when I hit this 40 miles from our top of descent, I want to start planning things out a little more, especially because right now in Tampa, it looks like we are no longer using runway. It would be cool if we could get ATIS information in here, but you can see the wind is changing, and yeah, 220, so coming sort of right from your back. So I will eventually check to see what, and here's us leaving Cuba. But yeah, I will eventually want to see what we're probably just doing the opposite runway. I'll have to check the Tampa ATIS information. Weather ATIS. Okay, it likes, this makes much more sense now. 19, not 1. Go ahead and, let's check our charts. I'm pretty sure our arrival will stay exactly the same. So from Bullfrog, that's for 1 and 10. This would be for 19 left and right. And that's cool too, because this is better. I want to fly over Tampa anyway. Well, let's take, I'm looking now at the actual real world stuff. Departing runway right, runway 19 right, and runway 19 left. Whew. Jesus, that's hard to say. So airport. One 9 right looks longer, and that means better for us. So let me scribble some stuff down here. So we'll do 19 right. We'll plan for 19 right. It's 187 degrees, and it's also 21 feet. Bullfrog, Feral, and we'll just plan for the ILS 19 right. So let's check that out. Okay. Back. Approach. ILS 19 right. Loading. That'll be our new one. Looks good to me. So we'll check that out a little later. One left. Bye bye. Wish you could move these. Can you? Okay. Don't need Havana anymore. Although probably in real life I would keep that open if that's where we'd be returning to. But okay, we're off that, and we'll just worry about Tampa now. Man, these switches. Alright, so I'm going to change our arrival. Let's just go same Bullfrog, but I want ILS 19 right, and does that change anything for us? Check the chart again. So we're still coming Bullfrog. ESAF. That's the airport. So, Mara Pi. Why not for? Is it 3,000 all the way? Oh, okay. All right. So I'm just gonna do the final approach fix then. We don't need a transition here. Go back to our legs page. Make sure. What did it get rid of? Carter, Tunsil. Okay, just go to close up Feral. Alright, so flight plan looks good again. Happy with it. Step, Tunsil, Carter, Feral, Bullfrog, Ozar. Be with a K. Bernie. Another football player. I'm telling you, it's always athletes. New York, it's all like Mets and Yankees. Alright, nice. That looks perfect. I can fly over my old house in Tampa doing it this way, too. Alright, we are approaching top of climb. Over the ocean, the sea. Let's enjoy a wind view for a moment. Have a sip of coffee. I believe I hear my other dog about to join. my wonderful living at. But yeah, fuck November 19th. Sorry if it's your birthday, but it's a shit day. I am going to, like I said, this is I enjoy myself on a day like today. Just like I did yesterday. Man, yesterday's stream was actually really good because I did some good screw-ups and that helps so much. So I hope to not make the, you know, I write them down. So the whole point of this too is I write down my mistakes and try not to do it again. Turns out, you know, I mess up sometimes still, but that's okay. Alright, 1,000 to go. Alright, once we hit cruise, I will, well, we're good to go. We're under that. Everyone, seatbelts off. Let's serve some drinks. Let's pretend we're over international water. I'm gonna smoke them because I got them. Hopefully well, babe, if you're watching this, I think you understand. Today is an okay day for me to be bad. But I am gonna smoke them if I got them, and I got them. Little caffeine, little nicotine, all the teens. Really, nicotine, caffeine are the worst. I don't think I've felt as bad in my life ever as on caffeine and nicotine. I know it sounds bizarre, but if you think about it, man, if you have too much, first of all, they'll both kill you. So will alcohol. Don't get me wrong. Alcohol is its own, but all the legal stuff is like the worst stuff for you. Not to say that the illegal stuff is good for you, but or not bad for you. It is, except for things that grow from the earth, of course. But man, if you have too much nicotine after not having it for a while, you're in rough shape. Very rough shape. That is, I think, an old parent move that does work. You catch your kid and you don't want him to smoke cigs. Make him smoke a few. Make him smoke a Black and Mild. Then they will not want to smoke for a while. Okay. Let's get Abby Tab up. I'm gonna... Will this work? Nice. I'd like to get this with the Google map. Ah, Key West. There you are. Alright, this is our better view for Key West. Yeah, man. The Keys are great. Although, not my, I will say, of the Keys, Key West is not my favorite of the Keys. That's some, maybe that's some Miami bias. Not that I'm not talking about Miami Beach. So Key West is a ton of fun. There's lots of whack jobs and yahoos down there. You're gonna have a good time. But I mean, boating is what you're, you know, this is like, there's no beach. This is all rocks, you know, it's not like, if you want like white sand beaches, don't come all the way down here. When we fly over, I don't know if we'll be able to see Key Biscayne, but that's where some of the actual beaches are. And the last time, let's see, last time I was in Key West, we stayed. We did not. We went past Marathon because we were all the way down, and we had a cool little apartment, and that had a boat slip. So my father-in-law brought his boat, and I had to drive us because we went out to John Pennekamp to go. It was mini lobster season, so we were lobstering. It was cool, but I remember. We were on the kind of north side. I'm gonna have to try and remember where exactly we were, but I remember, God, it was maybe like it took like 30 minutes to get through the channel and to get out to where our location, my father-in-law's secret locations. He had Lauren Q. What are they? Lauren, the old way of navigation. And it was so funny on a piece of paper. So he had no idea, he didn't know how to use his like little Garmin thing, and he always makes me drive the boat so that he can, so he can enjoy himself. Let's put it that way. Not that I don't enjoy myself too, as you can tell. A theme for me is enjoying myself. It's what's best in life, kiddos listening. That's what you'll remember at the end. So enjoy that stuff. But so I always have to drive the boat. He got me a cup, my first mate cup. I should be sitting over here when I'm flying. But no, actually, he makes me drive the boat, and I like driving the boat. But at that time, he had like a 30-foot thing, dual outboard. That thing could get going. What's harder, to trim an aircraft or to trim a boat? Maybe now. I wonder if that was before my like deep flight simulator. I was into train sim at the time, so totally different. Still a little loud exterior. Yeah. Let's see my trails. Nice. Yeah, this is such a cool area down here. You can take boat trips, kayaking all throughout is really nice. Fishing, of course, kayaking and fishing at the same time. That's fun. But I've only gone down to the actual Keys a handful of times, even though I lived in Miami, so here we're seeing the Everglades way off in the distance. Let's see, what would we be seeing? There we go. Got the window. When you live in Miami, I lived out in West Kendall. South Beach is where everyone, wants to go. And don't get me wrong, the beach is all along the Atlantic coast. Miami Beach is beautiful, white sand, but sweet spot, folks. Here we go, giving out state secrets. It's not a state secret. If you Google, it's probably saying nicest beach in the world is going to be right here. So Key Biscayne, my friends, this is where you want to be. So on the causeway over on this sort of south side is the free beach. Let's see, how far can we actually zoom in here? Is free beaches, but then I wonder what kind of. Sorry, I'm just haven't been down here in so long. Anyway, you drive, and this here is Crandon Park. And as you see, lots of parking. These are some of the most beautiful beaches you'll ever see in your life. The sandbar goes out for at least a mile, if not more. And so Key Biscayne is just such a nice area. I grew up down here. Really, my mom and I would spend so much time out here. And I mean, I can tell you, we'd park. Okay, here, I'm giving you all the stuff. So you take Rickenbacker Causeway. Now these are often closed because they might not have lifeguards up here. You're still allowed, but if you can, you want to park as south as you can go, even though like kind of all the stuff is down here. By the way, this is, they play the tennis tournament down here. Although, did that move to Hard Rock? Is that now? Huh. All right, so, oh yeah, we'd get the full-on zoom in. I should see. I wonder, is this a public course? That would be nice. Anyway, you go to the as north as you can get onto the beach. Just start walking to the north as far as you can. Eventually, this is going to be all like mangroves and stuff. Fuck it. Let's open up. Google Maps for a little better. And I know I'm coming up to the top of descent here, so can't do this too long, but just so you can see really quick layers. Oh. How much personal information will I be sharing here? Plenty. Yes. Not that I don't care. But anyway, so yeah, here's what I'm talking about. So yeah, you come down to John Pennekamp, and this is like, in the snorkeling is insane, but you take boats out, and there's just, you can see it's beautiful fucking reef. But Key Biscayne is, first of all, also there's hotels down here. So if you, as an adult now, I would have, after snorkeling all day, come down to one of the hotels on the water and bought $20 cocktails, and enjoy myself. But yeah, here's Crandon, and oh my god, so nice. But it's more populated down here, so if you want to kind of hang out with people down here. But if you come as high as you can, here's this this is the so there is a bathroom over here, but somewhere here you can rent that shelter. This was like a camp or something, and yeah, the nature trail is here, but here's where you want to go. This is the main sandbar. Okay, this is so hilarious. I grew up, people, right here. This is the deep part, and this is all these seagrasses. But this sandbar, you can walk out this sandbar. How, what is that? Look on the map to trace the path you want to measure. Distance to here. It's okay. That's only 500 something feet, but you can, you can go so far out here. This, I believe, is still going to be shallow out here. But yeah, so awesome, this part of the world. All right, what's happening? Sorry. Abby tab, close. All right, we're just coming to where I need to start thinking about stuff. We'll talk about Key Biscayne a little more. It's too nice to just give a short trip to. So anyway, coming into Tampa here, let's start thinking about what the hell we have to do. All right, descent planning. Let's check the runway information now. Yeah, everyone's coming in 19 right is what we have already planned for, so I'm going to change over to that. Okay. And we're just going to do, again, the ILS final route. Okay. Just so I can see it on SimBrief too. But what we do now, when we hit this top of descent point, is start thinking about our landing data and get our plane set up for that. So, set my heading bug. Too bad I want to look over. Can I slow down time here? Let's do this stuff quick. All right, so mainly what we're doing is our performance calculator. So I will be landing 19 right. It is dry there today in Tampa. The winds are TPA. All right, 260 at 8. Here, hold on, let's do it this way. So we'll see. Okay. 260 at 8 knots. It is 27 degrees out. The Tampa, I know. And QNH is currently 30.17. So let's go ahead and pre-dial that. So this is setting the local 3017. Setting the local barometric pressure. And what else do we need to know? So there's a few clouds. There's scattered clouds high, but it looks like we'll have good visibility once we get below that. And yeah, okay. So that gives us a little bit of weather information. Okay, wind is 268, so coming from the kind of south. Okay. The other thing I am going to do is finish this. So our landing weight, I'm going to go down here, look in my flight. So currently we're 145,000 pounds. And if I look at our progress page, by the time we land, we're going to be losing about 2,000 pounds. So we said 145, let's say 143. 0. Okay, flaps 30 landing. Air conditioner will be on. Anti-ice will be off. Brakes probably don't need 3. But I always could use the help. So let's run that calculation. Yeah, that works for me. So does this like 149? All right, so this is close enough for my comfort. I tend to try and take the Zebo values when I can. The 149 will be our VREF speed today. Although I guess, the calculator. Although I wonder if it's doing for that speed. Well, I'm just going to go with 159. All right, the other thing we do is check our chart to see our landing decision altitude is 200. Well, yeah, we're ground, but basically sea level. So I'll set our minimums, which is when we want is basically when we have to make sure the aircraft is stable. All right, 221 feet. That is set. And our runway course is 187, so I can go ahead and set the course here. This is all good. 500. Just reviewing anything else we need. But essentially what we're doing is after we're going to come and be at 210 at 4,000 at this LISAF Bucks. So the stadium is actually right around here, so we should fly over that. And then we'll be coming and looping around here and landing that way. And this will be flying over my old stomping grounds, so that is pretty cool. What else? So we said auto brake 3. Let's set that. I don't care about anything up here for now. Right? Yeah. So while we're cruising here, altimeters, everything's good. We're pressurized. And okay, we're coming up to the top of descent soon, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear out this fix for Feral. Don't need you anymore, but I will go into my legs and I will grab the runway 19 right and put that in my fix page. I won't need the center line for today, so because we're gonna be, I'll just be extending that, so giving myself my usual little kind of situational awareness rings. But if I went on plan mode, legs and kind of step through, you see as we get closer, I've got these rings on the nav display. And so that gives me some situational awareness about when I want to be at certain speeds and stuff. I'm gonna come in a bit slower than I've been trying to, because I've been coming in really hot lately, and it's my own fault. All right, so we are above Fort Myers, I believe now. This map has so much lag. Oh shit, it zoomed in so much right there. Okay, so Naples back there. The Florida West Coast is also very nice. You know, they gotta truck in all their sand, but I am a fan. I got married out there. I spent much time out there as well. Although I guess I haven't done much. I don't really, you know, Tampa is, see anything yet? Is that Tampa Bay? No, that must be this Port Charles, which I haven't spent much time there, I don't think. Which is like, yeah, because it's south of Sarasota, so I typically wouldn't. That's Punta Gorda. Good fishing there. Tarpon fishing. The only sad thing about living in Florida, this. Every Florida suburb, sometimes, yeah, with the man-made lakes and stuff, but otherwise grid. Just grid. But let's enjoy some ocean views. I will actually be right back. Got a very slight real world thing to nothing major. So I'll be right back. Enjoy the friendly skies for about 5 minutes, and I will be back. Although, where's top of descent? It's coming. So we will be. This is bad. All right, top of descent. What do I need to be? We're coming. Alright, so just above 4,000. But damn, Zebo, you are going to keep us high. But I will... just so we start descending at the appropriate time. Because I'm going to walk out of the room. Don't leave the cockpit during top of descent, folks. Alright, maybe I'll make it back. Thanks. All right, sorry, I do have to pause for a moment, but we'll give you some is in the very least. And actually, we can do the Miami show. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome to the last show of the tour. You know what that means is that it's going to be potentially the best show of the tour.
We love you so much.
The best for last. Give it up for King Stingray. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to be able to play with them. And they'll be coming back.
Okay, Joey, let's lift off.
Okay. I'm back. Pausing the sim always feels weird. Silly Billy. Being silly. Silly Billy. Alright. So we weren't paying attention, but like I said, dumb. So we want to be above 4,000. So here's something I noticed that I actually... Alright. Sorry, guys. I gotta... Well, that was the end of the song. Alright, perfect timing. I'll keep that minimized. We'll listen to some Giz live in Miami 24. Alright. Alright, legs. So... by cruise, I just want to be above 4,000. I'd like to just be at 4,000, but so from Bullfrog, what is it? J-Strom. Oh, we don't care about that. It's here. Lisa. So what is as the crow flies? Actually, I do care more about, I guess, J-Strom. Alright, so we are 42 nautical miles. And are we gonna get to 4,000? So what are we at here? Let me do this math. Alright, so we're at like 26, so we need to lose 22,000. So 22 is just 22. So I need 66. Well, yeah, so I think I'm very high right now. So if my math is right, I need way more than that. How far is Lisaf? Plus, I've got 36 miles to go. 36 plus 20, 50, 60 something. Well, alright, so that's kind of what and I have headwind. So maybe I will get to that 4,000. I'm very curious to see where the Zebo puts us. If by Lisaf we're, alright, I don't need this. Oh, sorry, I've been looking at my, my other overlay. Or not my other overlay, but I've been using the flight computer. I had just plugged in the J-Strom waypoint to see how far we had to go, and just using some rule of thumb, you know, distance, divided by 100 times 3 gives you a crude sense of where you're headed, or when you'll get down. Okay, just reviewing. So we really just need to be at 210, and on the actual, I mean, that's our up speed, so we will be slowing down. So I feel almost totally good. 108, 108.5. That will help us. Is there a VOR around here somewhere? For distance? Man, this is fine. Alright, one. Alright, give me a VOR that's in the region. Oh, I guess, yeah, 116, 116. Or, it's a fine VOR, St. Pete, and the ILS, what do I say? 1, 8, 5. All right, so do we have any DME indication? How far are we from this pick up St. Pete yet? It should. That's what I want to see. Is there Tampa kind of a POR more useful for us? No. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so 3,000 is what I'm eventually looking for, and then step down to the 2,000, but we should get our radar fixed by then. Alright, we're going a little fast. That's okay. Here comes our transition altitude. Let's check that the 3017, yes. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just set standard now. We have more distance to lose. Alrighty, let's get our head in the game. Although, just as I say that, I want to look around Tampa. Although we're still south. This is like Bradenton, I guess, Brandon. Which, believe it or not, there's some cool stuff out in, I mean, wherever you've got, a city center, as it were, and then people coming out. There's some good restaurants and neat places out here. But, I mean, this, like I said, I mean, any part of Florida that's not old, I guess, but even the parts that are just going to look like, shit. Sorry to say. It's just grid and, gated communities. But we can see some cool stuff here. Where are we? There's us. Let's get the... So that is MacDill Air Force Base. Not rendering in too well. But, yeah, I mean, this is Tampa Bay. And where's my hotel I like to stay at? On that causeway. Well, we'll fly over it. It's out here. Alright, let's find the trop. There she is. Not rendering in well, though. I should do a dive down and go look at it. Yeah, good old Tampa Bay. Drag required. Yep, I am going fast. Alright, I gotta stop sightseeing, having too much fun. Alright, I'm gonna get the speed brake back in. I want to monitor. I did have this issue the other day where I noticed when the auto throttle was getting... I was getting a big discrepancy between the actual speed and my commanded speed. So I want to watch that again and make sure. Alright, so we did our... I don't know if we did our descent checklist. I think we can do our approach checklist now, yeah, because we set the QNH. So nav radios set, altimeters are set, runway, auto brake, 319 right. Missed approach procedure I have not reviewed, but it's something like fly up to go to St. Pete, basically 2000 St. Pete. Okay, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna go to cylinder drag and legs page up and Yeah, we're going quite fast. I'm gonna go ahead and help us out here. We want to be at or under 250. At least 250 is their max under 10,000 feet. So we are just about to stop speeding. Okay, that looks good. Speed brake can come in. And then a little here. Although now it's telling me. So now I'm gonna have. I mean, I guess now I am gonna have tailwind. According to the indicator there, but not the METAR. Nice. Can I see a sock at the airport? So here's the airport. Here is, if you're gonna stay somewhere, here are the, what's it called? Or not here. The Grand Hyatt. Is that the Grand Hyatt? No, it's a little farther out on the causeway. Great restaurant both inside the hotel and there's oyster catchers. Big recommend. And yeah, here's South Tampa. This is a kind of nice, well, that's a kind of Davis Island-ish area. There's Raymond James is right north of the airport, Dale Mabry. Where are you? This is where, in Microsoft, I'd probably be able to find it. You're not that close to the airport, right? Alright, there's the airport. It's weird from this side. Where is the highway? Here's 275, right? Is here USF? Alright. We're getting there. I'm happy. Let's slow ourselves down. For me at least. Sorry, I'm enjoying all this sightseeing too much. Yeah. My old stomping grounds. This is a university here. This is New Tampa. This is Bears. Here is, where is Babes the Harris Golf Course I used to play. Is that 275? That's Florida, the strip mall. Yeah, right here. Babes the Harris. Nice golf course. Taco Bus down here. Good old Tampa. Yeah, I'm hauling ass here. Let's get some drag out. We will technically be 4,000 above. So what do I want to do? I'm gonna go ahead and go heading select, level change. Actually, at this point, we can kind of just fly ourselves now. Go to that up speed. At like 20 miles or something, I'll turn back. And I'm gonna let the speed brake come in. You see it's sort of leveling us off a little bit. Sorry, Chad. I like looking around my my old town. Okay, so we are heading select MCP speed. Good. We are approaching 4,000, so I'll let it get there. I'm going to what is it? 187 is our course. 187. Execute. So now, just to say, I drew kind of like an extended center line out. All right, 1,000 to go. Check. And on our charts, we want to be 3,000 by all this stuff. So I can actually. We'll just keep going. All right, 3,000. I'll listen for the guy. Yeah, so now we're sort of way over. You know, we're kind of outside of Tampa at this point. Well, I guess New Tampa is kind of this. My wife was born somewhere yonder that way. And then I met my wife somewhere yonder that way. And then we got married even further yonder that way. And then we left. Because neither of us like Florida. I'm saying all these great things and I'm like, fuck this place. Alright, let's, we're 20 miles here. Let's turn base. It's a very far out base. It looks like we are indicating. So we could intercept the localizer and all that stuff. Okay, alt hold at 3,000. That works for me. And yeah, cool. Oh, that was weird. My center line went away. Alright, I'll put us a little more, just so I can intercept this thing and not have us go crazy. Alright. Alright, everybody. I keep not buckling people up. Let's get lights on. Go ahead and arm approach, actually, because I've got both indicators coming in. Alright, VOR lock, single channel, turning onto the ILS, or onto the localizer. Alright, set runway course 187. All right. Okay, engine start switches, continuous. All right, let me help myself out. Go flaps 1. Shouldn't have too much trouble slowing down here. Landing checklist, engine starches, continuous altimeters are set in check. Auto brake is armed. Or excuse me, auto brake 3, speed brake armed. Landing gear, not yet. I think is too early. I need to at least be once I kind of get on the approach, maybe. But I am gonna help myself again. I'm going flaps 5 now. I've been coming in so fast, it just hasn't been a smart. But once I actually get glide slope lock, I think then I'll dump my gear, and that should help us slow down. Alright, so I'm going to sit here at flaps 5. Zebo, settle there, please. Come on, settle down. Okay, not bad. Alright, so I see the vertical deviation coming in. Glide slope. And we are still on approach, so this should pick us up. And once I'm on that, I will go flaps 15, gear down. That. I want to look up that, because I don't know why that line just got drawn out there. Alright, glide slope. Glide slope capture. Let's go. Flaps 15. Gear down. A little fast there. Maybe a lot faster. Okay, gear coming down. We're at flaps 15. We're not slowing down, so I'm going to actually pull some speed brake out. Come on. Come on. There we go. Speed brake in. Armed. Flaps 30. And set our ref speed 149. Alright, and at 5 miles, I will take over the thrust. Okay. 556, 57 seems to be good. A little slow. Let's 8, 9, and we have air runway in sight at 1,000 feet. Call out. I will. Ah, there's the bay. All right, no sightseeing. That's our runway. Okay. I'm gonna say I'm a little under speed. Go to like 60. There we go. Okay, about 1,000 feet here. Go ahead and turn off the autopilot and my controls. Just be following this down. Wind isn't too bad. A little high. Back off the thrust a little bit. Get back on. Give myself a little bit more thrust now. Down, baby. Go fast. Here's that updraft. A little high. A little high. That's okay. A little fast. A little high. Getting back on. Path here. Going very fast, but when I nose up, I should lose some speed. Nope, not losing much. I don't want to go past glide slope.
400.
All right.
300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Okay, continue.
100.
Going quite fast.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
All right. Reversers on. braking. We're going all over the place. Alright, reversers.
80
Thank
knots.
you. Alright, 80 knots checked. Let's manual brake and turn off here. On here. Alright, I guess we'll go. Well, that was actually one of my better do spoilers up, flaps up. Disarm auto brake. Camera. A lot going on here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I kind of got a little squirrely right at the end. Alright, don't know where that terminal is. Let's just here. Let's stop here and get ourselves situated. Parking brake. Alright, strobes. Steady, taxi is on. Let's go weather off. Rain off. Let's go to standby here. What was I was just thinking to myself there was something I wanted to do. Maybe it was just check the airport. So we are international. Let's go to US. Oh yeah, we'll have to go to customs. Okay. Yeah, here. We'll park perfect right here. All right, so I mean, not bad. I'm pretty happy with this whole flight actually. Part of me wants to go back to Havana just to check things out, but I think I'd rather relax and just watch a pro do this. If I had any viewers, I would raid him. Yeah, but if anyone's watching, don't watch this. You should be tuning into Black Box 711. He is great, and I am missing stream for this. Well, at least an hour, if not more. Watch the VOD. I can't see that. I'm not sure if it's picked me up or what. Oh, there it goes. Way down. Alright. I did everything to get the AP. People are gonna have to wait. Alright, parking brake set. Get the trim. Okay, taxi light can come off. Oh, I can't do anything yet. You're still getting going. Okay, yeah, but That went way better. I'm gonna watch the replay and then call it a day. Myself the ground power too. Okay, ground services. CPU connect. And chocks, why not? Get out of the way. Alright, now. You're all free. What am I looking for down here? Alright, engines, come off. APU bleed off. You're on. Position light, that can come off. And yeah, let's just throw on the ground power so get rid of the APU. And hydraulics can come off, lights, roofs off. This is auto. Fuel pumps off. Does it feel like all the stuff? Do I have a shutdown for parking after landing? Speed brake is down, flaps are up, landing lights, taxi light as required, strobe off, engine start switches are off, weather radar terrain is off, auto brake is off. Yep. Transponder, APU start on, but I'm back. So parking brake, electrical power, and the start just cut off. Anti-collision light off. Fasten seatbelt switch off. Fuel pumps off. Probe heat auto off. Anti-ice off. Hydraulic pumps off. Isolation valve open. Good. Yeah. Is open. APU lead on. No. That's weird. I'll have to check that out. Flight directors. Always forget that. Transponder standby. Alright, that's we've parked. Did the gate come? Oh, cool. Here, start the loud services. Alright, cool. Quick, let's look at a replay. Kind of want to look at the whole flight around Tampa again. Yeah, as I was saying. Tampa. These are, this is a big park. I actually used to live way up here. Cheap apartment at the time. The secret road back for, let's see, was that Fowler? Yeah, brings back lots of memories. This. Okay, let's speed up. Let's watch ourselves do a lovely turn. Looks funny going fast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, intercepting the localizer. There was that. So I was about 20 miles here. Ops 1 should be coming any second. Yeah, there we go. That angle of attack. Looks so much worse when hold on a second, let's pause real quick. Alright, there's the airport. Let's just see how the texturing looks. I would think X-Plane can get a little better than this. I need to do my research. Why can I not find Ray J? Is that it over there? No. Alright, there's the airport. So Dale Mabry is... It would be funny, I'm right on top of it, but I know I'm not. Sorry, just enjoying my old stomping grounds once again. All right, let's land this thing. All right, wobbling. I don't think I ended up deviating too terribly. I mean, that's a little rough right there. But I'll take that. In the touchdown zone and everything. And then I'm all over the place after that, though. But we had brakes, reversers, I got off pretty quickly. Did not, only used like the 3/4. How about that? Alright, I like that one. Let's watch it again. Alright, I gotta work on that at least. I probably could have held the nose up a little bit more, but that's neither here nor there, I think. 'Cause let's go inside and see what happens.
200.
Yeah, because I was only about 7. So there, once they're about 700 feet per minute, I was fast by. Well, I mean, it's just that plus 5. I did have tailwind too. So what happened right there, I know, is that I didn't sort of get a feel for where the runway was.
40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
I probably would have been fine to just have kept my nose up. Let me see what the speed trend was like at that time.
20, 10, 5.
Alright, more forensics, sorry. So when did I start getting too low? I know I had went like 1200 at some point to get back on at least. So that means, let's see where I screwed up. Actually, out a little so I can see. I want to see the thrust levers too. Okay. Now let's play. Alright. So I was high. When did I start diving down? Alright, so I was back on glide. About 900 feet per minute. 800, 700, 600, 500. Alright, so I needed to just sort of try to stay at 500, or 700, 800. And yeah, that's why I had to dive down.
300.
Picked up the speed, and then I was hoping for like
200.
I meant to pull up harder right there, but I didn't.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
That's the other thing I want to see too. It looks like my pitch was okay on the flare portion.
50, 40, 30, 20,
It's
10,
about
5.
a little under, about 2.5. Yeah. So I mean, I'll take that. That was good stuff. This is what I'll work on next. Staying on the middle of the road. Though I am going to blame my rudders a little bit. Anyway, yeah, sweet. That was fun. One of my better landings on Curse Day. That was fun to fly over my old hometown. I'm going to think about it now. And I'll remember my doggies very fondly. So, welcome to Tampa Bay. Yeah, since I've been such a piece of shit lately, I have no idea when I'm going to be able to do this again. Although all I know is anytime, if you see me streaming again, it means I'm being bad, for sure. Because, yeah, I should eventually get to it here. So, but that was super fun, and I think I did well. I think I improved. It only took 10 or 11 streams worth of bad landings to have one that was at least in the green with only a little bit of glide slope deviation. So thanks again for tuning in, and as usual I will play us out to some King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. I hope you all have a good day, and hopefully I can stream sooner than later. Having fun instead of working.
Sometimes I think I wasn't cut out for this world. Sometimes I just feel like just a scumbag to everyone. I probably would have been better off, doing my own thing.
You're not a scumbag, man.
I think
I do like
Amby
eating
was
scraps.
about to say something
You like chicken.
bad there.
Dude, like chicken.
I don't want to say it on Twitch. I'll
This
get
one's
me
about them
banned or
chickens
something.
in the sky. I'd rather be amongst the clouds, elevated in the sky. Don't get too much up on the ground, elevated, raps in the sky. Liquid
Glasses of my banquet, puddles of my wine. A revel in the present, each moment.